Alrighty boys, welcome back once again to another video. How you guys doing? Guys, today I have for you guys a little bit of a quick news video update thingy. Also a back-to-back upload as well. We on that 2-day daily upload streak. Yesterday I ended up coming out with a video talking about the home base status report, talking about version 11.50 for Fortnite Save the World, which by the way literally added absolutely zero, as well as delayed the skin system until March of 2020, which is, you know, a whole nother month from now. Definitely an interesting video, and a lot of people were not happy, including myself. It's probably the most negative I've ever been about Save the World in a pretty long time now. Epic Games obviously noticed this backlash from the community, and they decided for the first time in a long time that they wanted to actually communicate with the community, and that's what today's video is going to be about. It's actually going to be about this post on the Reddit called the Community Hot Topic post for the February 5th of 2020, and this post was made by Magist, and it goes over a few different things about version 11.50, as well as some really good news towards the end, although not exactly the most perfect of news. But before we do jump into the video, I do want to give a quick shout out to my man Toxic Wolf over on Twitter for using code demonjoefr at gfuel.com, which by the way, I believe it's a few hours after you guys are watching this video, my code should be 30% off again. Recently it's been 10%, now it's back to 30% because you guys have just been going insane as of late. If you do pick up anything, please send me a picture on Twitter. The least I can do is follow you and slap you in a video. It goes a really long way to support the channel, and I freaking love your face. Even if you don't do it and you're watching this video, you're really cute. But let's go ahead and jump into the video. Let's actually talk about the news here. I don't want to make this a 10-minute video. A lot of my more recent videos have been 10 minutes on accident, like right on the edge, and I really don't mean for that to happen. So let's get the news, let's get the video done, and let's get some opinions in the comment section. So let's go and start off this video talking about, you know, the first part of this post, which says, "Hey everyone, we've been monitoring the feedback since version 11.50 went live, and we want to take the opportunity to address the concerns that we've seen." So he starts off talking about the locker update. He said, "We definitely understand the frustrations by everyone due to the delay, and it's been in the works and promised for quite a while now. We really want to make sure this feature lands in a good spot because we feel it's extremely important for Save the World." Here's a line directly from the home base status report, quote, "Home base is in the final stages of bringing outfits and backblings to your locker, and there are still a few critical bugs that need squashing before it's ready to release," end quote. "There are features that aren't cooperating with each other that need to be resolved before the system is rolled out. We're hard at work testing this internally, making sure that all the critical issues are resolved and making further quality of life changes on a feature that we think everyone will like whenever it gets released." So that last little bit is a little bit interesting. One thing I would like to add to this you know, little thing right here about the locker is that had Epic Games actually told the community, let's say a week before this update ended up releasing, my bad, I don't think the community would be as mad, seeing as every single person in the community was expecting 11.50 to bring the cosmetic system, you know, the full-fledged cosmetic system to the game, and they waited until after the patch launched to tell us that we need to wait until 12.10. Had Epic Games actually communicated to the community like a normal game developer would, at least like 1 week beforehand, maybe made a blog post, showed us a little sneak peek of how it's going to look in game, all of this could have been avoided. That's just the one thing I really want to point out here, is that Epic Games, the whole reason that all of this blew up is because of their own lack of communication, and although they are communicating now, and I really appreciate that, Epic Games needs to learn that they can't screw up and then communicate later. If they communicate ahead of time, then they won't end up screwing up with stuff like the meta shift and stuff like this whole cosmetic drama. But let's go ahead and move on into the post. We have the Winter Llama conversion. It says, "The auto conversion of snowflake tickets with this morning's update was unintentional and should have taken place at the end of the season. For those of you guys that don't know, everybody's winter tickets ended up getting converted to winter llamas, so people who were saving for the lunar llamas, like myself, personally for the collection book, we got screwed." It said, "Due to the auto conversion granting winter llamas, the end of the season conversion in 12.0 will be lunar llamas, so the end of next season will give us lunar llamas if you save up enough tickets by the end of it, which is a long time to wait if you want some lunar llamas. Additionally, we're going to be granting 2 lunar llamas to everybody impacted by this early conversion, so 2 free lunar llamas for everybody, and at the end of the season we will get lunar llamas, you know, converted from whatever tickets that we have. A very whack kind of way of going about this to kind of make right on this. I mean, for the people that really wanted lunar stuff, having to wait, you know, if they don't get it now, having to wait till the end of the next season, A little bit of a whack way of going about it. Not sure if they could have done it any other way, but they're kind of making right on it, I guess. And then this last part right here, which is definitely the most interesting part of the post, is actually talking about an early look towards the meta shift. It says, we've been gathering feedback since the release of the latest meta change to see where adjustments need to be made, and we'll want to see how change A impacts change B, and how players feel about the changes as they interact with each other going forward. They said, we're still testing on new iterations to make sure they feel good in game, and we're taking the feedback that we've gathered since the initial meta change in consideration as we make these new changes. Here are some of the adjustments that we're making in version 12.0, or maybe just version 12, season 12. He goes on to say, reducing the damage that sploders do to structures, so a direct nerf to propane husks, reducing the distance that smashers begin to charge, which this was increased with the meta shift, and so now they are, making some changes to smashers, they're, nerfing them, buffing underperforming weapons and increasing projectile speed for bows, so weapons that previously sucked are going to be better, and bows are going to get faster projectile speed, which absolutely makes no sense because that is not at all the problem that bows have right now. The drawback speed is the issue and the range is the issue. I have no idea why projectile speed is even being mentioned here. Just a little nitpick though, I'm just saying, I don't know why they think the projectile speed even matters. Buffing most damage dealing traps, including the ability to roll nature traps into energy damage, and that is a big one right there. So that means that the ceiling electric fields and I believe the zapper as well are both going to be energy traps, meaning that the gas trap might no longer be the only trap you want to go with. Perhaps what you might want to do when building a trap tunnel is through the main tunnel, you might want to have ceiling electric fields and then have a puncher punch them into a timeout room with a tar pit and have a gas trap over that. That is seemingly, to me at least, looking like the new meta and how you want to kind of interchange the two ceiling traps accordingly, and maybe put these zapper traps, above actual stairs, because I do believe they can zap through them. To me, just on paper, that's what's sounding like the new meta is going to end up being. And then lastly, which this is actually really important, but also really redundant, they added the tar pit and the sound walls to the llamas and the researchable tab in the collection book. Now, the reason I say that this is redundant, by the way, this is a fantastic change. This is really, really, really good. The reason I say this is redundant is because you needed these traps for Frost Knight, and by the time that they are researchable, Frost Knight is gone. So, why couldn't you do it in 11.40 when people still had a very long time to still play Frost Knight? I don't know. Frost Knight doesn't give good rewards anyways, so at least for, in-game players, so it doesn't really matter too much, but for the people that did want to complete 128 and they might not have the traps for it, y'all could have just done it a while ago. I don't know why you have to wait until season 12, an entire season to go by before you do it. But that's pretty much it for this post right here, known as the community hot topic. So in my opinion, everything here is positive. Magus goes in on the locker, says that there's a quality of life feature that I think a lot of people are going to like, and that they, still got some bugs with it. Like I said, really wish they would have talked about it previously before now, but I digress. The Winter Llama conversion is a little bit whack, but it looks like they're making up on it. And the early look at the meta changes, I think the sploders doing less damage to structures isn't exactly the best of fixes. I feel like it's more of a band-aid fix. We'll have to wait and see. The chargers I'm definitely cool with. Underperforming weapons is great. Projectile speed for bows is whatever. Energy traps, as your ceiling traps, now that's going to be really, really cool, and I actually really can't wait for that. And the tar pits and sound walls, a little bit late, but still welcome. Guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Overall, this post was pretty positive, but a few things there I just had to nitpick, just for the sake of it not exactly being the most perfect post out there. But pretty positive post overall. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.